Good afternoon. Hi, Sue. Afternoon, Benita. Hello, hello. How are we doing? I've just had a coffee Kit Kat. Cappuccino Kit Kat. It was lovely. There I am talking about healthy eating and making the right choices. Need to go shopping. Need to go shopping. Good afternoon, Audrey, because they're not the right choices. That is not the right snack to have. That's my first bite of food for the day. And I reach for chocolate. Chocolate. Of course I do. It's nicer than anything else, isn't it? But it's not really. And there's no nutritional value in a cappuccino Kit Kat. Has anybody tried them though? They're amazing. Afternoon, Sarah. Afternoon, Joy. Keep forgetting to message her. I must message her. Hi from Cleethorpes, building sandcastles. How wonderful. Hi, Zoe. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Claire. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm tired again though, because I was scrolling through social media till 12 o'clock last night, and then I woke up at 4:30. So I had a really good night's sleep the night before, and then a poor night's sleep last night. But it's my own fault because I need to learn to put my phone down and just relax. Tell you, I'm really good at giving everybody else information and advice, and not very good at taking my own. So I'm flagging now, and I've got a live tonight, so I've got to keep going. So I need to fuel my body properly, get myself something healthy to eat. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start meal prepping again. I'm going to start cooking a chicken and ripping it to pieces and getting a couple of bags of veg and putting them all into tubs and putting them in the fridge, enough for the week. And then when I'm snackish, like I am right now, I'll reach for that rather than reaching for the Kit Kats. That's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. I might even do that this afternoon. I like the Kit Kats. They're lovely, aren't they? They are. Raining in Birmingham. We'll keep you going later. Thank you. I'm probably going to need that because I probably will be flagging at 7 o'clock. Hi, here near Whitby. The weather is glorious. Wonderful. Good afternoon, Dijon. How are you doing? Hi, Kerry. So, as you know, as Lisa said this morning on Live Lounge, things have been a bit crazy at LJ's HQ the last couple of weeks. So we're not in that normal rhythm of telephone sales, new sales at 1 o'clock. Andrew's had no time to unbox clothing, so I'm re-showing. I'm sorry, girls. I know you've got used to newness at 1 o'clock, and we've tried to put some newness on at 1 o'clock, and we've been doing it sporadically. But look at me with the big words. But there's no newness this afternoon. Lisa had gone to the dentist. Andrew is up to his neck in orders and hasn't had a chance to do any unboxing, so I'm re-showing. You don't like chocolate? What? Oh, is it raining? Oh dear. You look happier, so healthy. I'm good. I'm all right. Currently snacking on what? Squashy. I love them, Dawn. I love them. All the flavours. Yeah. See, we all like a bit of sugar, don't we? It is very addictive, I have to say. Sugar is just as addictive, I think, as smoking and alcohol. It's a true addiction food. But yeah, we'll save that deep conversation for another day. So I'm re-showing this fabulous top that I had. What's that? I know! What do you mean you don't like chocolate? What is wrong with you? Everybody loves chocolate. They don't actually, do they? But I do. I'm obsessed with chocolate. So the Eloise is 16 to 24 and 21.99. I mean, some of you ladies might not have seen this. I did show this on Sunday night. I've still got Sunday's clothes here and it's Wednesday, and that's unheard of. But it's because I showed some of it last night with Charles. I re-showed some of it on Monday. I'm re-showing some of it today. I am going to take some of it back and make some room at the warehouse this afternoon, because obviously it's another newness live tonight. More of a savoury gal. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's all good with us. Excellent. I'm addicted to sugar. I think it is a true addiction, you know. I really do. So, this is the Eloise. It's up to a size 24. It's £21.99. It's the beautiful non-crease fabric, which I always refer to the Sunset Nights trousers. It's the same fabric as that. Once you pick those sweets up, you can't put them down. I know, that's what I do. Tupperware for the win. Yes, Made a big chicken stir fry. That sounds lovely, Ruth. But I think that's what I did. So before the craziness of my life, going back, what, 3, 4 years ago, and I was probably a size 20, maybe even a small 22. And I decided to do something about losing some weight. When my ex-mother-in-law said that she'd pay for me to go to Turkey and have a gastric sleeve, it gave me the slap round the face that I needed. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit insulted. She came round one Sunday afternoon and I was larger than I am now, and I was sat in the garden in my shorts and vest because I didn't know they were coming, and she said to me, probably with only love in her heart, I don't know, I'm sure she didn't mean anything against it, although she has got this thing about people being overweight. She said, you know, if you want to go to Turkey and have a gastric band or a gastric bypass, I'll pay for it for you. And it really did upset me. I don't know whether she meant to upset me, but it did. But it gave me a reality check, and I thought, I don't need a gastric bypass. I don't need a sleeve. I can lose weight if I want to lose weight. And I was in a very unhappy marriage with a son at the time. And I comfort ate, as you do, as lots of us do. And I had put quite a substantial amount of weight on, probably about 4 or 5 stone. So that gave me the wake-up call that I needed to start on a healthy eating plan, which is what I did. And I naturally lost about 1.5 stone. And then obviously we separated. And then through the stress, I lost another 3 or 4 stone in a very short period of time. So, but what the point I was making was, when I, crackers, dry roasted peanuts, cheese, corned beef, what a combination! Sitting here with a raging toothache. Oh no, Mariska, there's nothing worse. I hope you've got an appointment booked at the dentist. So yeah, I embarked on a healthy eating journey and found it really easy to do, to be honest with you. It's the mindset, isn't it? I started walking and I started healthy eating, and it was all in the meal prep for me. That's what I am now, Sally. Size 20 on top and 18-20 on the bottom. 5'11", lost 1 stone, but still size 20-24 clothing. Yeah, well, you know, there's no pressure, is there? And I did it. I mean, she did kind of shame me a little bit into kickstarting doing that. But I did it really because my ankles were hurting, my knees were hurting, my back was hurting. Everything hurt from carrying the extra weight. So I decided, you know, to do it for a couple of different reasons. And it was probably one of the best things I ever did for health reasons and for my mental health as well. But it was all about the meal prep, and that's what I'm going to start doing again, so that I'm not reaching for the snacks, or I'm not going to the shop at tea time and getting crisps and chocolate to keep me going, the sugar rush. I want to eat healthily. So that's what I'm going to do. That was a long-winded story, weren't it? But I feel like that's what I need to do so that I make the right choices, so that I've always got the food in the house. I don't tend to go and do a big shop just for myself, but I think if I bought just enough to be able to break that down into meal-sized portions and label them out for the week, problem solved. So that's what I'm going to do, girls, and I think it's a really good thing to do. So the Eloise I have got on in the tan. This is gorgeous. I love the detail on this. Let me show you close up. It's got like these little, the stones. I said they were buttons the other day, and they're not, you know. They're like little stones, little different coloured stones. And I don't even know how they're on the top, how they're like fastened in. I think they're stitched in, or they're glued in. I can't see actually. But it's a really nice effect, and it gives you that ruching right at the bust, which gives you that shape in. So I love the V. I think it's really flattering on a fuller bust. I love the fact that the ruching sits right on your bust, and it gives you that shape. It gives you that illusion of shape underneath. So it's brilliant, but it's a really oversized top, this. It's fantastic. It's all in the head, emotional. I know what to do, but eat my feelings. I did exactly the same, Jane. I was exactly the same. I was stuck in a really, really unhappy relationship where we lived separate lives, and I ate my feelings, and I went from a size 14, 16 up to a size 20, 22 because I sat in my bedroom taking comfort in food instead of addressing the issues. And I addressed the issues, I lost the weight, and then I lost the husband and lost even more weight. It was great. So it was like an epiphany. So his mum did me a major favour in more ways than one. I got rid of the weight and I got rid of a son. It was great. So yeah, it is. You do know, we all know, but we do like sometimes use food as a bit of an emotional crux, don't we? So I get it, and I don't judge anybody, you know, and we're our own worst enemy sometimes. We're our own worst critics. We talked about all this body positivity and everything this morning, and sometimes we do tend to emotionally overeat, eat our feelings, whatever you want to call it. It's not that easy to stop though when you. I don't disagree with that, Anne. I don't disagree with that. And I always say don't be too hard on yourself. Don't set yourself to a higher an expectation. Don't give yourself more than what you can deal with. Small, teeny tiny changes over. It's a long haul. It's not a quick fix. Nothing. If ever anybody expects a quick fix on anything, whether it's their emotional instability, you know, or anxiety, depression, weight gain, whatever, it's never a quick fix. It's never something that can just be rectified. So weight loss is not something that happens overnight. Everything is just a slow burn, and you have to take it in bite-sized portions and not be too strict on yourself, too hard on yourself, and set yourself to higher goal. So yeah, it's if you set the bar low and you reach that bar, set it a little bit higher. And then when you reach that, set it a little bit higher. That's what I do. Rather than overwhelming myself, I give myself bite-sized chunks of things to break down. And if that's like if I'm having a bad week and the house gets untidy, I tackle a little bit at a time rather than thinking, oh my God, it all needs doing. So I am super, you've got to be super kind to yourself and super fair with yourself and not expect too much, and then you can break it off and you can break it down. Whereas if you just do too much, you tend to give up. You know, if you think, oh my God, I've been dieting for 2 weeks and I've not lost 3 stone, I'm not doing this anymore. Whereas if you lose maybe half a pound a week or a pound a week, you can just keep going. And if you set your goals and they're low, and you do the healthy eating and you do it gradually, I'm not saying give up your sweets, I'm not saying give up your chocolate, I'm not saying give up going out for meals, because we all want treats, and there's no way that any of us are ever going to say, right, I'm never going to eat chocolate again, I'm never going to eat ice cream again, I'm never going to have a day where I'm not going to go for a walk, I'm going to get up every morning and spring out of bed. And it don't work like that, does it? But I think small little bite-sized doable things, then you're doing those little lifestyle changes that you can keep up with. I'm literally my own worst enemy. Me too. Even though I'm having a great time, I've probably compared my body. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because nobody's looking and nobody cares, and you shouldn't either. Everybody's there just having a nice time. We put way too much pressure on ourselves when we go on holiday to look fabulous in a bikini. When we get there, we think, well, we just blend into the crowd and nobody gives two monkeys where we are, what we look like, what we're wearing. Nobody cares. So stop it and enjoy your holiday. Don't do that to yourself. But weight isn't all in life. Weight is all over. What's that saying? Need to do this or that. We need what's for us. Keeping. I can't read that and make it make sense, Claire. I'll have a look at it in a bit. But yeah, that's just me. That's my personal little life goals and life journeys. And that's how I tackle things. I'm not saying it's right for everybody else, and I'm not telling anybody to do anything. You do whatever you want to do. Everything else, especially with the kids. I get that as well, Diane. It is a massive problem, isn't it? I get that. I totally do. Food is so flipping expensive these days. It is really hard to eat healthy. But you can get frozen bags of chicken. You can get frozen bags of veg, and they're a lot cheaper than fresh, and they're just as good for you. And they're just a perfect solution. If you've got a freezer, go to Aldi, Lidl, whatever. I mean, where is it that's across the road from me? I think it's an Aldi. It is an Aldi, and they do absolutely fantastic bags of frozen chicken, and they're very inexpensive, and they do really good bags of frozen veg as well. So you can do it, but I get what you're saying about fresh food is very expensive, but there are alternatives with the frozen that are just as good. It just means getting the chicken out the freezer and defrosting it the night before and then cooking it. It's a bit more faff, but it's affordable and it's doable. They are not expensive. If you go to Aldi's freezer section, they do big bags of chicken. And I'm not saying put the kids on a healthy eat, and I'm not saying put yourself on it. I'm just saying these small changes, even if you do it a couple of times a week, it does make a difference. I started doing that. Yeah, you've got to. I mean, you know, if you're wanting to healthy eat, you've got to look for the cheapest alternatives. I'm not saying you've got to do it. I'm saying you've got to look, you've got to shop around, and you've got to find the best deals on food because it's so expensive. So expensive. So navy in this one. What I mean is our weight isn't everything. Of course it's not. We have it everywhere. We need to this size. We were talking about that this morning, Claire. Were you on the live this morning? I am the biggest advocate for body positivity and not putting pressure on yourself and being happy. I'm just talking about my mindset at the moment and what I want to do. And I'm just saying, if anybody else wants to embark on the same journey, my advice, if that's what you want to do, is to break it down into manageable portions rather than overwhelming yourself. But I'm not telling anybody that they've got to do it. I'm just saying what triggered my weight loss journey was my mother-in-law offering me a gastric bypass, which I was horrified about. But it did trigger me into wanting to be healthy and eating healthier. And it was mainly for physical feelings, like my ankles and feet being swollen and sore, and my knees and my back all the time. That's all. Good to go bags and free food from Olio. I've never heard of it, Becky. It's pop that's done it with the kids. Wish they'd never started. Pop, as in fizzy pop. I don't drink it. I don't like it. Every now and again I'll have a glass, but I'm not. I thank the Lord I've never been bothered about fizzy pop. It just bloats me and makes me feel awful, and it does not quench your thirst at all. Loads of caffeine in it as well. If I have like a Pepsi Max or something at tea time, I'm buzzing and I can't sleep. It's full of caffeine. It's awful. Bless never. Oh no, I'm very, very mindful of not offending anybody or telling anybody what to do. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my journey. That is all I'm doing. You know, girls, I am the biggest person to big up everybody's shapes and sizes and body positivity, no matter what size. And your size and your shape does not define who you are as a person. But yeah, fizzy pop's not for me at all. Anyway, the top, the Eloise, is gorgeous. This is the navy. I'm wearing the tan in this and I love it. I'll step back and show you the length of this in a second. Red wine is everywhere. It's the colour of autumn. Teal though, look at that. It's a beautiful, rich, bluey teal. I don't like water, but I drink dilute pop. So I have the sugar-free Vimto in my kitchen because I love it, or sugar-free Ribena. And I add my collagen to it in the morning and drink a glass in the morning. Then I try and have a glass mid-afternoon. Then I have a glass in an afternoon. And then I try and have a glass before I go to bed. Not always with the Vimto because I don't want to overdo it, but it is sugar-free anyway. But I try and, again, you see, what works for me is breaking it down into sections of the day. So a glass in the morning, glass mid-morning, glass dinner time, glass tea time, glass before I go to bed. And then I know I'm getting my water intake in every day. That's how my mind has to work. That's how I plan it out for me. So that, because if I thought, oh my God, I've got to drink so many litres of water a day, I'm like, I'm not doing it. But when I break it down into glasses and I just keep going back to it, it's doable. It's funny, isn't it? We're all different. But yeah, that's what I do. Couldn't offend anyone. Thank you, Claire. My son is 6 now and never let him have pop. I'm not saying don't. A little bit of what you fancy does you good. But me personally, I don't like fizzy pop. I don't do fizzy pop. It bloats me. It makes my teeth feel awful. And I don't like it. It don't make me feel, it don't quench my thirst when I'm thirsty. I'd rather drink, not really plain water, but flavoured water. That's what I like. Flavoured water, there you go. Plus my coffee. Can't live without my coffee, girls. Cannot live without it. So that is the Eloise. Let me step back. This one goes up to a size 24. It's £21.99. It's that lovely non-crease fabric. I've layered it up with the Neptune jeans. It is really oversized. It's the same length all the way round. You've got that ruching on the bust. It's not too tight on the upper arm. So plenty of room in this area where we all struggle. Well, I do anyway. Lisa doesn't. She just carries her weight round the middle. So she's smaller on the shoulders, smaller on the arms, smaller on the legs, big on the bust, big on the tum. She's apple-shaped. I'm hourglass, so I'm curvy everywhere. Charlie's pear, so she's smaller on the top, bigger on the bottom. I know we've said it many a time. But I do struggle here because I carry a lot of excess weight here on the upper arm. But this is great. It's not too... No, Anne. I have proper caffeinated coffee. I have the pods, don't I, for me, Dolce Gusto. Talk about wind. Never mind. Never have it. No, I don't. I don't like it. It absolutely. And it's funny because my son was the same as a child. If I gave him Coke or even Diet Coke, he was bouncing off the walls. I could always tell when my mum would give him a little drink of it, because he used to come home and he would just bonkers. He used to throw himself off the furniture. He used to run up and down the stairs. He'd have temper tantrums, and I'd be like, "Have you given him pop?" And she'd go, "No." And I'd go, "Mum, have you given him pop?" And she'd go, "He wanted just a little glass of Pepsi." And I was like, "You can't give it him. It sends him crazy." Tia were never bad, but Sam, oh my God, when he'd had Coke, he were absolutely nuts. And I'm the same. I don't throw myself off the furniture, but it keeps me awake for sure. Smoothies with fruit. Oh, that sounds lovely, Claire. You always do. Oh, thank you, Angela. I love a smoothie. I do love a smoothie. But then again, I love me Costa, don't I? I've not been, and actually they sent me a little reward thing for my birthday last week of a free cake, and I've not used it. So I have the Costa app. And every time you go to Costa, if they swipe your app, you collect beans, and when you get to, is it 10 beans, something like that, you get a free coffee or a free drink of your choice. And they send you treats every month as well. But I've had an extra one this month, with it being my birthday. I was allowed to go and help myself to any free cake from their cake selection. And I've not been. What's that all about? I might go this afternoon, you know, and treat myself to a frappe. I love their chocolate fudge frappes. I might treat myself to a frappe and a piece of cake for my birthday last week. Naughty. Cappuccino, Kit Kat for my breakfast, and then a frappe this afternoon with a piece of cake. Diet starts tomorrow. No, it doesn't. I don't do diets. I do lifestyle choices. That's what I call it. And even in my mind, if I say I'm on a diet, I instantly want to divert off that diet and eat something naughty. So if I just tell myself I'm making choices, healthy choices, don't sit as bad. It's all in the brain, isn't it? But lots of sugar. It depends, I suppose. Not really, as long as you don't add like fruit juices and stuff, because fruit does have sugar, but it has its own natural sugars, so it's not as bad as drinking a smoothie that you buy ready made. So if you do your own, yes, fruit does have sugar. They have got sugar, but as long as you don't add a load of fruit juice with it, it's just the natural sugars in fruit, so it's not too bad. And then maybe the natural Greek style yogurt or something like that, or a scoop of ice cream. No, don't do the ice cream. Right, I'm going. Go and get your cake. I think I should, because it was paid on for my birthday. Costa gave me a little birthday treat that I haven't used yet. 8 beans. Is it 8 beans? It used to be less, and then they put it up. So I don't know. I don't go as much as I used to. I used to be there all day, every day. But yeah, I ain't been for a while actually. I don't think I've been for about 2 weeks. But their ice machine had broke, so I couldn't even have a frappe, and I'm not into hot drinks at the moment. Not there. It'll be spice latte soon, won't it? Spooky season, autumn, when they start doing I'll be back on my chai in a couple of weeks. Is it 10? Somebody's saying 8, somebody's saying 10. I don't know. Anyway, 10 beans. I know they put it up. It might have been 8 and now it might be 10. But I just wait, and then they'll go, "Do you want to use your free one?" And I go, "Yeah, okay then." Right, girls, on that note, the Eloise is available in all the colours as far as I'm aware. I did check briefly before I came online. This is the tan, and don't forget this one goes right up to a size 24. It's just £21.99, this one. Tesco, I know I don't do machines though. It has to be made, the barista, it has to be proper. Costa coffee machines in service stations and Tesco's, etc. aren't the same. And if you're meaning off the shelf, it has to be a frappe. That's all I get from Costa. I love a chocolate fudge frappe. Was 8 beans, now 10. I thought so, yeah. Right, girls, I'm going to leave you with it. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I will be back at 7 o'clock with some gorgeous newness. See you later. Have a great afternoon. Bye.